Ladies and gentlemen, in today's exploration of being childlike and not childish, we will delve deeply into these vibrant aspects of life that can be used by adults to foster personal and societal growth. First of all, let us distinguish between childlike and childish. Both these words have to do with the characteristics of a child, but there is a huge difference between them. The word childish typically has a negative connotation and is used to describe someone acting selfishly or immaturely. It is used to describe someone displaying characteristics that are more fitting of a child than an adult, such as immaturity, impulsiveness, and being over-dependent on others. There was once a lady named Sarah who lived in my neighborhood, and Sarah would often throw her trash on the front porch. She would often play loud music and wouldn't care how it affected others in the neighborhood. One evening, she was hosting a party, and her guests were making a load of noise, and her music was up really loud. And lots of neighbors came to complain about it, but Sarah didn't care. And it got to the point where one of her neighbors almost filed a noise complaint. So as we can see, Sarah was acting immaturely and not thinking about how her actions affected those around her. Now, what does it mean to be childlike? To be childlike means to preserve those positive qualities that can be seen in a child, such as curiosity and creativeness. Now, let us look at these attributes one by one. Childlike curiosity. Children are inherently inquisitive and often ask the question of why and how. This reminds me of a story that my mom once told me about one of my cousins, who when he was younger, always asked questions like, how does the TV work? How does the phone work? Why does Google have the answers to all our questions? And at a point in time, his parents didn't have the answers to all his questions. So they started enrolling him in classes that will explain all of this to him. And now he is currently in the university studying computer engineering. As adults, adopting a childlike curiosity can help to develop cognitive flexibility, which facilitates better change management and situation adaptation. Next, we have the childlike creativity. Children are masterful creators and see the world as a versatile canvas in which they can create anything. Adopting a childlike creativity will help us to think of unconventional and innovative ideas and help to improve our problem-solving skills. When my younger sister was 2 years old, she received a paint set as a birthday gift, and the green paint ran out. So one day when I was painting with her, I mixed blue and yellow, and it turned to green. And she was so amazed, and she called out to her mom. I was like, Mom, we mixed blue and yellow, and we got green. How is that possible? And our mom had to explain to her the concept of primary colors and secondary colors. So, as we can see, on a norms, we would have thought of going to buy more green paint, but instead, we sought out an unconventional idea, and it was a solution to the problem we were facing. As adults, we should learn to use this childlike creativity to think of different solutions to the problems we can see in our society. Another attribute of childlikeness is the authenticity in relationships and forgiveness. At their young age, children have not learned the act of pretending. Therefore, relationships are built on true trust and sincerity. Children are forgiving, and when they fight with their friends, you can often hear a child say, I don't want to talk to you anymore, I'm not your friend anymore. But 5 minutes later, when something happens, you often see those two friends talking to each other. In our daily lives, instead of holding a grudge and holding past misgivings, we should learn to forgive and let go of past grudges. Next, we have the optimism and resilience of a child. If you see a child learning how to walk, they walk a few steps and then they fall. The child may cry for a bit, but they often get back up and try again. When children are faced with setbacks or problems, they often continue going after their goals and they exhibit perseverance. We should learn to do this because instead of seeing challenges as insurmountable obstacles, we should see them as chances to progress and be better than what we were before. When we fail, we often see it as we will never be able to get past this point and maybe I should just quit. But that is not what we should do. We should look at the future and think of where we are going rather than where we are now. I once had a friend who was on the track and field team, and they went for a relay race in an inter-school competition, and they came third place. And obviously, the teammates were a bit downcast. But instead of staying that way, they were encouraged by their coach, who told them that they could do better in the next race, which they did because they came in first position. When we fail in different aspects of our lives, we shouldn't see it as something that should be given up on. Famous scientists such as Thomas Edison and the likes obviously failed many times before they eventually came out with great inventions. And now their names are remembered and will be remembered even till tomorrow. Next, we have embracing new experiences and ideas. As adults, we have become confined to a shell. We have gotten used to a particular way things should be done and a particular process we go through. This should not be so. Children are less judgmental and more open-minded to new ideas. If you give a child something new to try today, they will obviously want to do it because they've never seen anything like this. As adults, we should be open to get ideas from all around us, whether it be from our juniors, from our mates, or from our seniors. This would help us to foster societal growth and solve many problems we might be facing in today's world. In conclusion, adopting a childlike personality does not mean rejecting adulthood or rejecting the responsibilities that come with growing up. Rather, it means recovering those vibrant aspects, attributes of life, which can help us in our day-to-day activities. Now, please turn to the neighbor at your left and tell them, be childlike, not childish. Turn to the neighbor at your right and say, be childlike, not childish. Now, I'll leave you with these quotes. Be childlike in your curiosity, but not childish in your personality. Thank you.